Alright, this is My Car Business, and we're here with Glen Musser today. And Glen Musser is going to offer us some information about how he got started in the car business and where he's gone from there. So, Glen, would you please give us a little brief on how you got started in the used car business?
I got started mostly because I retired when I was 55. I was looking for something else to do. And then, like a lot of people, I got into the car business almost by accident. I started off of somebody else's license, and we were buying a few cars and had some good luck, and then just felt like this is something I wanted to do. And so we got ourselves licensed, formed a corporation, and then in 2004 is when we really got started, when we had our own business.
Okay, who would you say that probably inspired you to get in, and how did you find out about this business?
My partner had been working off of another guy's license. The guy who's my future partner had been working off of another guy's license, and he finally coaxed me to go to an auction with him just to try it. Apparently he wasn't happy that I was playing golf every day. But once we went, bought a few cars, and just had some luck. You know, we sold them rather quickly. Well, then the bug bites. And the other thing, it didn't take a lot of capital to get started. It was a type of job where you could set your own hours, so if you still had a lot of activities, like even being semi-retired, it just was a good business to get into.
Okay, so in the beginning, when you went to your first auction, did you buy a car prior to having your dealer's license to give it a try, or did you go the proper route from the beginning?
We originally bought cars at the auction through another dealer. We had to pay him a fee up front to go to the auction and buy the cars, and then we had to use our own money to pay him. And then when we sold the cars, we also collected a dealer fee for the dealer that we were using. After doing that, maybe for 3 or 4 months, maybe a little longer, why it just didn't make sense to keep paying this gentleman all the upfront money. So we started looking into how to get in the business. And at the time, there just wasn't a lot of information out there to really push us or get us started in the business. So we had to ask a lot of people, had to find out about getting incorporated, what was the best type of incorporation to do, and even floor planning. Had no concept of floor planning or anything like that. So we had to talk to a lot of other dealers just to find out how to get in the business.
Okay, and did you find that that most of these other dealers were willing to help you out, or would you prefer sort of a manual or a how-to guide so you could do this on yourself?
Some dealers are willing to help, but others would see you as potential competition. It would have been great at the time if there was a how-to or some type of a step-by-step procedure in place that would have enabled us to get into the business and be more effective quicker. Because there was a fairly long learning curve for us just because we didn't know enough about the business to take advantage of all the opportunities that are out there.
Okay, so when you went to get your dealer's license finally, that is done through the DMV?
Yes. It's done through the DMV, and you have to attend a dealer school, and then you, once you attend, I think it's about a 2-day or 3-day dealer school, then you had to go through the process of getting your bond, go through the process of getting your garage liability, and then the final step was you had to have a commercial location that the DMV approved in order to really get your license and open up the doors.
So for the DMV, it was more about policy, procedure, fees, and legalities, not really an instructional course on how you should be successful in your business.
Yes, that's correct. The DMV School provides a fairly basic overview of what it takes to get into the business, but some of the things like floor planning, what type of cars to buy, you don't get that type of information. It's pretty much an overview of what it takes to be legal and be in the car business.
Okay, so for it to be exciting for you, what would you expect to make on a vehicle? Well, let me ask you this. What's the most you ever made on one vehicle sale?
I would say, without really looking back at records, probably $2,500 would have been the most we've made. There was kind of a rule of thumb in the car business that you make all your money when you buy the car. So we have been fortunate and bought a few cars very inexpensively, but yet with a little bit of reconditioning made a nice profit on the car. Typically, though, we try to start out and make $1,000 a car is what we try for. And then your profit margin goes down from there, based on what the economy's doing and the type of car you're selling. Typically for us, the less expensive cars are the ones that we seem to have migrated to.
Okay. So is it safe to say that, although it's anticipated and ideally you want to make $1,000 on a car, would you rather hold a car until you achieve that, or would it be better to make a lot of friends and let something go for a $300 profit?
We typically don't sit on much of anything. In other words, your first sale is your best sale, your first opportunity. So typically, if we're moving cars and we haven't had the car very long and we can turn it quickly, we do turn it quickly. It cuts your profit margin down. You're working a lot harder because you have to buy a lot more cars. But it's been our experience that if you sit on a car too long trying to make the big score, it just doesn't work out. So when you have a customer there and you can recognize a reasonable profit, we do tend to sell the car.
Okay. So now, how long have you been in this business now?
We actually got incorporated and started into the business full time in '04, and it would be probably I'd say September of '04 when we really started into the business. We were incorporated in June, but before we really got going was probably closer to September. So September of '04 would have been when we actually really started into the business.
Okay, so now it's been over 6 years, and would you have felt both more comfortable if you had had a program like My Car Business to start with, and if you had had that, do you think that you would have excelled faster?
Yes, yes, we definitely would have, because My Car really does point out some of the little I can't think what you call it. Some of the little
nuances,
or I can't think of the right word right now. But what it does is it helps speed up your learning curve. That's the biggest thing, because a lot of the questions you have, you can't necessarily just get answered. And like I said, it teaches you what you should do as far as structuring deals. Better what you could expect to make on a car. Just how to go about it. And initially, just the how to go about it was a little bit tough. But, it's like everything else. We've been in the business 6 years. Most small businesses fail within a year. So we were fortunate to last this long till we learned how to do the business. But for sure, this program, it's just a big help. It just really covers a lot of things that we just couldn't learn.
All right, Glenn, thank you. You may not know this, but recently we've added a support center. So in addition to the how-to instruction, we allow the people that are part of our program to reach out and ask us any question they like about the used car business. So do you feel that having that ability to reach out and have someone hold your hand along the way would have helped people survive more?
Yeah, that's a for sure, because any time that you have to waste time, you might as well say it, if you're not doing something productive, time's just getting away from you. Somebody up and get the answer, or at least get what they think how it should be done. That really speeds up the process, because with us there were so many times we just weren't sure what to do, whether it was picking floor plan companies, buying cars at the auction. What you have to find a niche, and if you can talk to a service center that can help guide you as far as the types of cars to buy, the market to look at, it's a big advantage.
Okay, that's great. We're glad to hear that, because we're very excited about adding that support center for our clients. I'd like to know, basically you think that My Car Business would be a good idea for anybody that wants to get started in the used car business, including those people that want to dibble-dabble.
Yes, I mean, for sure. Even if you're just going to be a wholesaler, even if you're just going to be small-time retailer, allows you not to go through such a long learning curve, and you avoid a lot of the pitfalls that we went through. I mean, a lot of this stuff is explained if you can look deep enough, either into DMV materials or when you're forming your corporation. But it would have really been handy to have somebody that you could call and ask specific questions to.
Okay. In your opinion, Glenn, could you put a value on the My Car Business program?
I'll tell you, it's like anything else. My Car Business gives you the ability to work as hard as you want and be successful. It allows you to make as much money as you're willing to work, and it guides you along the way. And that's the important thing. You have resources that you can talk to. You have a program that's in place that helps guide you through getting into the business, staying into the business, how to manage your money. I think it's an invaluable program myself.